This is the first video in this introduction series about the battling ropes training systems. We've posted other videos actually going over some of the specific waves, but I wanted to give you an introduction and talk about the research that we've been doing here at Georgia College and State University in Millersville, Georgia. John Brookfield is the creator of this system. This system's been around actually for 5 years. It's just that people are starting to get popular now, and they're starting to use it more and more, all the way from the amateur ranks to professional teams using it. What I'm going to do is talk a little bit about our research and what we found so far and what we're planning on doing in the future. The rope system has several components, but I'm going to talk just today about the wave system. When John first created the system, he created it with a manila rope, an 1.5 inch 50-foot rope and a 2-inch rope. Well, it's kind of evolved over the last 5 years. And what we found in our lab with oxygen consumption values and energy expenditures is that the mass of the rope actually makes a difference. It increases the oxygen consumption, the anaerobic demand, and the energy expenditure. So the ropes that you commonly will see will either be a manila rope, 1.5 inches, or a polydacron rope, 1.5 inches. Well, there's also a cotton blend rope. So that's 3 different ropes. Most people are going to think, well, they're going to be all the same. They're not. We actually have shown that there's a difference in the oxygen consumption, energy expenditure values in our lab with indirect calorimetry. The cotton blend rope actually has the greatest mass, then the manila rope, then the polydacron. These two are basically the same, but in most cases, unless you're going to train outside, that's the only time you really would use the manila rope. This is the most common rope now, the polydacron blend rope. These ropes can be purchased from Perform Better. They can also be purchased from several different websites out on the internet. So just take a look also from battlingropes.com. It's the best place to get them. You can also get videos from John explaining his system. So I'm going to go over and talk a little bit. The 1.25 inches really was not common at first, but now it is. We use this with beginners. We've even used a 1-inch rope for adolescents and children in the 6 to 8 range. But this is the rope actually that you might use outer circles, the S wave. Then when you get to the basic double arm wave, power wave, walk-ins, you could get to the 1.5 inches. Well, obviously if the mass of the rope makes a difference, well then there's a 2-inch rope. This rope actually, when I present about this all over the country, people go to this rope first and they'll have poor technique. And what happens with poor technique is they're actually developing ineffective recruitment patterns. We don't want that. So don't go to the 2-inch rope. But once you've developed yourself and you've got the endurance and the strength, you can progress from an 1.25 inches to an 1.5 inches to a 2-inch. And if you've trained with it enough, you can go all the way up even to a 3.5-inch rope. The rope lengths really should be from 50 to 60 feet, but you can also use, like this 3.5, it's only a 40-foot rope. If you do a 40-foot rope with an 1.5 inches or 1.25 inches, it's not going to work effectively. So keep an eye out for our videos, and we're going to keep shooting these videos to help John out with the system over the next few months.